So Cricket Life Stories with me, Neel Khagram. Today we're joined by Dimitri Mascarenhas. How's things going in Australia where you are at the moment?
Oh, look, yeah, things are pretty good. They could be better, but look, we're in a bit of a lockdown here in Melbourne. But other than that, look, things are pretty good. The weather's nice and look, there's plenty of cricket to be watching at the moment.
Yeah, very gel about the weather. Let's take it all the way back with yourself. So you were born in Middlesex in the UK, but then went over to Perth as a youngster. Talk us through your early childhood and your earliest cricketing memories.
Yeah, so look, yeah, as you said, I was born in London. We actually moved to Melbourne when I was 18 months old. We lived in Melbourne until I was 12 and then over to Perth. So I did all my junior stuff in Melbourne, played at a club called Ringwood. And then, we moved to Perth and started getting into the seniors then, under 15, 16s and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, progressed from there. And then when school finished, moved back to England to have a go at Hampshire.
Who were your early cricketing heroes? And also, am I correct in saying, did you play in the Western Australia system, youth system, under 17 and under 19, had a stint at skippering the side as well?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So I was captain of the under 17s. I played under 17s twice for WA in the state carnival. Captain for one of those years, and I was captain of the under 19s as well a couple of years later. So I played 2 years of both, and yeah, which was a great experience. Played with some, players that gone on to represent Australia in all forms of the game. Chris Rogers and Dave Hussey being probably the biggest two that have, obviously Hussey, a lot of one-day internationals and T20s. Rogers played some Test cricket. Marcus North played a bit of both. So, yeah, was lucky enough to play with some pretty good players.
What was it like growing up and playing on those bouncy, hard wickets with the whackers? Got a bit of pace in it.
Yeah, it's funny. You don't really, think it's any different to anywhere else. Obviously, the whacker's a bit different, and as a junior, you don't get to play there very often. We were lucky enough, being in the under 17s and under 19s, I got to train at the whacker a lot, and the nets are very similar to the middle, which was great to experience. But yeah, we don't play a lot on that wicket. The club wickets are still bouncy enough. But yeah, I suppose it's only later that you realise, well, we are, the Shield guys get to play on that all the time, and the wickets in Australia are so different in every state, which is brilliant for the development of their games.
Do you think, obviously, when you came over to the UK, do you think that grounding, playing on those bouncier, faster wickets just aided your development as a batsman? That ability to kind of play off the back foot as well as you go up through the ranks?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's pretty different coming from Australia to England, where the wickets are, especially playing club cricket and second 11 cricket, which is where I started. So you play on some really low, slow sort of wickets, and you've got to be really trying to hit the ball late and then get forward and head over the ball and soft hands and all that sort of stuff. Can't go driving out in front of you because you start spooning them in the air or launching them over the top. So I was that type of batter. I was just going for it. But look, there's plenty of positives to growing up in Australia. And look, we play cricket. We're outside every day of the year, pretty much. Like the winters over here are nothing like England. So you can still get outside and play sport all the time. So, and it's light, it stays light. So, I had two brothers, and we were either in the summer, we were always playing cricket, and in the winter, we'd be having a bit of a kick of footy, Aussie rules footy, and or cricket. So it was just constant sport all day, every day.
And then when you came back over to the UK, so you had a stint playing in minor counties cricket before getting into the Hampshire system. Was it for Dorset?
Yeah, sort of. I played while I was playing at Hampshire on trial, I suppose you could call it. The opportunity arose to have a game for Dorset. I only actually played one game, and we had.
You got 7 for you in that one game, right?
Yeah, so Hampshire didn't have a game. Hampshire seconds didn't have a game, and I was like, yeah, I want to play. And so I played, and I got a 7 for, which was nice. Good to do well.
Then how would you sum up that the standard of minor counties cricket? Is that something you would encourage fellow professionals that want to make that step up into the county game to partake in, and in terms of the standard and just aiding your game going forward as well?
Oh, look, I'd encourage them to play in any standard in a different country. Look, it can only improve you. It's a great grounding. It can improve you as a person, as a cricketer. It definitely, made me grow up. I was only 18 when I came over, so I had to grow up pretty fast. And, I didn't know how to cook or clean or do the washing or do anything. So I learned pretty fast. Look, I think that the standard's probably a lot different to what it was 24 years ago when I was last there. 25 years ago now. So it's, look, it was a long time ago. But yeah, look, I'd always encourage young Aussie guys to go over and play, whether it be club cricket or anything, to play as a pro and, go over and experience it, because England is an amazing country, and even more amazing during the summer when the cricket's on. It's just phenomenal. I can't talk highly enough of it, and of my time especially. Look, I loved every single minute of it.
When you made your Hampshire debut, 1996 against Glamorgan, you got a 6 for. How was that as a moment early in your career as well? Did it give you that confidence? You could do it at that level?
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, that was absolutely huge. Look, I never expected to play. I was still on trial. I remember the director of cricket at the time, Tim Tremlett, came up to me and said, look, we want to register you. And I'm just like, I didn't really know. Yep, fine. Didn't know why, what for. Absolutely, I'm going to say yes. And then, look, a week later, I was living with Liam Botham that year as well. And he made his debut the week before and got a 5 for against Middlesex, I think it was, which was awesome. And then the week after, we played together. So I made my debut with him, which was awesome. And, look, we'd lived together. And, look, it was a great feeling. It was a tough initiation, let me tell you. Look, I think they were none for about 200. Both Hugh Morris and Steve James. I'm pretty sure they both got hundreds. I can't quite remember. But, it was, look, it was a long day and a half in the field. I reckon I bowled 30-odd overs and, ended up getting 6 for yes. But it was, look, it was pretty special. Yeah, it was very special.
Would it be fair to say that early in your career, you had a habit of stepping up and really performing in those big games? I said, first of all, in that minor counties game, then you have Hampshire debut, the 98 NatWest semi-final, you got 3 for and a 73. The first game at the Rose Bowl, you got 100. What's the secret for your success?
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of fell into it, I think. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Did you embrace pressure? Did you like the pressure?
I'll tell you what, I wish I could say that I thrived in the big game. But look, I played in a lot of finals and didn't kill it by any means. So, especially with the bat. No, with the ball, I did okay. I would have loved to do a lot better in some of the finals that we played in. But, yeah, I generally, especially in the early years, as you said, the TV games, I don't know what it was. I seemed to do okay, and then people started talking. But look, it was you absolutely love the TV games because they're fun, and generally there's a good crowd. And the big games, that's what we play cricket for. You play cricket to win trophies and win finals and play with your mates, and I suppose they're the most fun. They're not the games where you go, oh, I'm really nervous. That's why we play. So they're the ones that that the big guns usually step up and win for the teams. I would have liked to have done that a lot more, but look, it doesn't matter who does it. It's just as long as you win, that's the main thing, so you can enjoy it with your teammates.
And then when the advent of T20 cricket came about, initially, what was your thoughts as a player about this new format? Were you of the old school mindset thinking that this wasn't for you, or were you thinking, wow, this is going to be amazing and just embrace the whole thing?
I think because we were a bit younger, some of the younger guys had actually played it in the like on the Wednesday night comp. like a similar, like where it'd be 20 or 30 over cricket. It had been already played. So a few of us knew that it was going to be fun, but we didn't realise how serious it was going to be. I think we all thought it was going to be a bit of a hit and a giggle and have a slog and see what happens. But we quickly learned that it definitely wasn't going to be that, and it was going to be a serious competition. And the teams that adapted the quickest were going to be the best. And we definitely didn't adapt fast. It took us a long time to understand the game and get our formula, play the brand of cricket that we wanted to play at Hampshire. But once we did that, we had a really long run of success in, quarterfinals, finals days and the like, yeah. And having guys go and play in other tournaments as well from Hampshire was great to see. But yeah, look, it's come a long way, and it's not going away either. It's getting better and better. It's look, I love it. I'm coaching now and love watching it and being involved still.
Yeah, in 2004, you got a hat trick against Sussex. Any advice, tips that you have for young professionals, youngsters, bowling, batting in T20 cricket? When it comes to the ball, is it the case you just have to really vary your balls up, and then with the bat, just try and assessing field and just trying to whack it out of the ground? Is it?
Yeah, so my philosophy on bowling is a lot different to most. For any youngsters, I'd be like, go to your best ball. The top of the stumps for as long as you possibly can. Because if you can't bowl that and you're trying to bowl all these slow balls and bounces and wide Yorkers, you're just not going to succeed enough. You're just not going to succeed at the rate that you want to succeed. But if you can land a length ball, more often than not, they're usually the hardest balls to hit, especially if it's just doing a little bit in English conditions. So my advice would be to smash that one first, make sure you got that down pat, and then work on one really gun slower ball and make sure you have a Yorker, a really good Yorker.
And then
be the best at that.
Yeah, then with the bat, again, what would your mindset be? And when it comes to the actual training side of things, are you one for practicing range hitting, or are you of the belief that if you have the core fundamentals, that will help you succeed in the...
Absolutely, you need... With the bat, absolutely, you need your core fundamentals, but also you need to play to your strengths. So whatever your strengths are, I'd be in boundary hitting, work on those and hit your boundaries there. And if they bowl somewhere else, then that's how you work to get off strike. Not everyone can be a 360-degree player like AB de Villiers and all these types of guys. So you want to be able to get off strike when you need to and hit a boundary when you need to in your area. So I'd be working hard. And if that involves range hitting, absolutely do that. Work on your strengths. Make them better. Make them the best that they can possibly be.
And in that 2006 period, there was a lot of talk about you getting picked for the England national side. Again, when you were hearing such talk, did you embrace the pressure? Did you think you were ready for it? I know your good mate Shane Warne was actually sounding your case as well. A word on the great man. What was he like to play in the same dressing room with in Hampshire as well?
Oh, look, yeah, he was phenomenal. Look, he changed Hampshire single-handedly. Just the way, just his aura. He made people want to play for him. And the brand of cricket we played, we just changed overnight. And we were like, nah, this is how we're going to play. And we're going to be winners. And we're not going to be the old happy hands, come to Hampshire and have a good time and take the points and run away. We're going to be hard to beat at home. And we made it like a fortress, if you will. I suppose everyone's got their own fortress. But, yeah, we wanted to make it tough and hard cricket there, but also have some fun because the game's a lot more fun when you're winning, isn't it? So, he was and he's an absolute genius. He's an absolute star to play with. It was awesome to watch him bowl and just the way he thought about the game and helped me phenomenally with my bowling, understanding tactics and how to get players out and what he's doing. And it's not just running in and bowling and trying to bowl dots or hit top of off or whatever it is. It's like we're going to work out a play. We're going to change the field. We're going to get him to hit it here and get him to hit it places where he doesn't want to hit it. So, yeah, from that point of view, he was awesome for, all of our players throughout the 8 or 9 years that he was with us.
Yeah, then when
the England stuff, wow, it was I probably thought was ready to play a couple of years before I actually played. But, you get the call up and you're just stoked to be a part of it. Yeah, look, it was good fun. I love playing. There's a couple of nice performances which I'll cherish and remember forever.
The 5-6s against Yuvraj at the Oval? Stand out.
Obviously the one that everyone knows me for, yep. The 5-6s. But yeah, there's a couple of innings there where I bowled really well. And I was really happy, and I just thought, my style of bowling, it was always going to be tough in international cricket. You're playing on flat wickets against the best players in the world. That was always in the back of my mind, am I good enough bowling at, 70 miles an hour? And, there's not many people that bowl 70 miles an hour except the spinners. So there's, that was always in the back of my mind, will I be good enough and will I be able to get out of it and perform and do a job? And, I was happy to say that most of the time I was really happy with the way I bowled.
Yeah, what's a standout game moment, scenario in your England career when you reflect back? Obviously, we touched on the Yuvraj 5-6s. You're part of the T20 squad as well for 2007, for the World Cup. You hit the 4-6s against New Zealand as well in a row. One particular moment that stands out for you in your England career?
No, I don't think there's one. Everyone loves me to say the 5-6s, and it's pretty hard to go past you. Look, it's still it was brilliant. Look, it's still an English record for the most runs by an Englishman in a ODI, so which is cool. But again, like you say, the 4-6s against Jiten Patel. I batted and bowled really nicely in both those T20s. I think I must have got 2 for 20 odd in both of them. So that was really pleasing to, perform T20 internationals. I got a 3 for at Lords in a one-day international. And could have been 4, but yeah, there was a drop catch. But yeah, 3 for getting Yuvraj out again. So, there are some other things as well. Performed really nicely in the West Indies with the ball, especially. Got a couple of 20s, but with the ball, bowled nicely. So like I said, with the ball, mainly it was just getting out of it. Twice against Australia in one-day internationals. I think I got 1 for maybe 50 both times. And I was super happy with that. Get away with going for 50 against them on, a really flat wicket. So yeah, I enjoyed those games.
Did you feel
you didn't enjoy facing Mitchell Johnson though? That's for sure.
Oh, he bowled some serious wheels.
He was too fast for me.
Your last England game came in 2009. Did you feel as if in your mind, did you feel as if you deserved to play just a few games more? Did you feel as if you got enough running the side? I know that there was that exchange with Jeff Miller, but I don't really want to delve into that. But I'm going to talk about the whole England thing. And did you feel as if you deserved a few more games? Did you feel as if you got enough fair run in the side?
Oh, look, I think when I look back now, I think, look, I played 20 one-day internationals and 14 or 15 T20s. And look, it's a lot more than most, a lot more than some. Yeah, a lot more than most. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. I'm pretty content. It would have been nice to play a few more games and be involved in a few more series. But yeah, I'm pretty content with the amount that I played. If I'd done better, still, it's still a decent amount of games. Maybe if I'd done better, I would have got more opportunities. So I suppose that's how I sort of look at it.
And then you were part of the inaugural IPL playing for Rajasthan. How was that again as a moment? Because at the time, England registered players weren't allowed to play, but because you hadn't had that England contract that you were allowed to partake. How was that as a moment?
Yeah, that was awesome. And again, that was down to Warne. Warne got me in. He was desperate to have me at Rajasthan Royals and pretty much got me in. Obviously, yeah, as you said, English players weren't allowed to go that year, but I was, because I wasn't playing for England and I didn't have an English contract. and most English players thought they wouldn't be allowed to go anyway because of their counties. So I got the all clear from Hampshire to go for a couple of weeks, and I went, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, how was it? Talk us through the crowd, how it differed in amongst all the other experiences around the world.
Yeah, the crowd's nothing like you can ever imagine in India. It is just phenomenal. Just the noise from pretty much the time you get there until the time you leave. It's just awesome to hear. Like, whether it's 20, 30, 50,000 people, it's it's just full on from go to woe. And, look, they love their cricket with a passion like no other nation, like no other sporting team has followers like India have followers for their cricket. It's as simple as that. And, to be involved in that, to play, with Warne and Graham Smith and Shane Watson and, play against some of the, the best players in the world. It was, AB de Villiers and Seawag and all these types of guys was just, it was a great experience.
Do you think the IPL through the years has raised the standard of cricket around the world as well?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely helped India get all these names. I don't know. I was going to say nobodies, and they're definitely not nobodies, but people haven't heard of them outside of India, and all of a sudden they're just playing for India and dominating. But it's no surprise to the Indian public and to the Indian players who have seen them over the years and progressed through the IPL as well. So which some overseas players are starting to take note as well. They're just like, they have got some seriously talented young blokes coming through in all aspects, batters, bowlers, spinners of the game. And look, it's made India a powerhouse in all forms of the game. They've improved. Like, you just watch their fielding is just out of this world now. There's no excuses for that. They're just phenomenal.
And then back home, trophy success with Hampshire in the One Day Cup. Again, a proud moment in your career?
Yeah, huge. I mean, look,
You were the skipper at the time now as well. Forgot to add, yeah.
Yeah, well, the first one was in 2005. So it took me 10 years to win my first one. And then to be captain in 2009 when we beat Sussex at Lords was, a very special moment. Captain the lads out in the field and, bring that trophy home. The second one that we'd won in that time was, it was a great experience and great to be involved in.
Any advice for young captains that you have out there in terms of your mindset going out on the field? How much work were you doing off field as well with the players as well? Can you give us a little insight into a first-class cricket captain?
Yeah, look, I was very lucky in the fact that I had Warne for 6-7 years before so I took over from him. So pretty much I just went about it, tried to copy him and learned everything I know of captaincy from him, and just took that on board and just went with it. Look, play the game to win. 4-day cricket. We were always willing to lose the game to put ourselves in a position to win the game. We were never just going to bat the opposition out of the game. It was always, we're going to dangle a carrot because that gives us a better opportunity to win. And that's how we played our cricket. And that's why, we had some really awesome games as well, because we were willing to dangle that carrot and have some great cricket. And I think that's how you learn the most and the fastest as a cricketer. Captaincy-wise, you just got to do it your own way. Everyone's different. Everyone will have their own philosophies on captaining. But you got to be able to get around all your players and understand people. So, you got to be not just a captain, but a manager, and understand that when people get dropped there, you're not going to be their best mate all the time. But you got to find a way to deal with that and roll with that.
And then, was it 2010 you suffered a bad knee injury? Obviously, retirement then came in 2013. Were you at the age of 35? Do you think that injury accelerated the end of your career as well? Yeah,
it wasn't my knee, it was my Achilles. So I did my Achilles in the IPL. and then had to have an operation and missed the whole 2010 season, which was a shame. Yeah, definitely. Like the Achilles isn't 100% now, let alone then. But look, I was always not the most athletic, especially towards the end with the number of overs I was bowling, and I was always sore and I didn't get around the field very well at the end. But look, I could have easily played white ball. Hampshire offered me a contract to play white ball cricket for another 2 years, but I just felt that, I couldn't do it anymore. I still love the bowling, but the batting by that stage, I wasn't really contributing as I would have liked, and I definitely didn't enjoy fielding. So, I just felt it was time to give it up.
And were you ready mentally to give up the game? Did you always have the plan to go into coaching, or when the time came, were you assessing your options and seeing what else was out there?
Yeah, I wish I did have the plan to go straight into it. No, I didn't. It was definitely thought about coaching after or during that 2013 season where I knew I was going to retire. And just thought about the best way or how I could have done it. Look, if I'd stayed in England, it would have been a lot easier. But, I was lucky. I moved to Melbourne and then lucky enough to get a couple of coaching gigs. Got the Otago one over in New Zealand and then straight to the New Zealand bowling coach, which was an awesome experience to work with those amazing
How was
cricketers.
that as an experience working at the elite level as a coach now?
Yeah, it was huge. Now, look, working with guys like Bolt, Southey, Wagner, Matt Henry, Adam Milne, it was, just phenomenal bowlers and it was awesome fun to work with them and help them along with their journey. Look, I learned heaps. And New Zealand, they do it quite different. They're always the underdogs, but Jesus, they are an amazing group of men, and they play some seriously good cricket over the last 5, 6, 7, probably longer now, probably 8 or 9 years. It's been amazing.
As a coach, obviously, when you're coaching these elite players, are you one for talking, going into specifics with individuals about the technical aspect of things? Are you more of a sounding board of ideas, or is it just tailored to each individual? Again, can you give us a little insight into the coaching world?
Yeah, I think it's you definitely got to cater it to each individual. Like a guy like Tim Southey, rhythm type bowler, he'd always be, can you just watch this? What do you see? Do you see anything? Am I doing this? And we'd look at old footage. And if we're doing something a little bit different to then, why are we doing it? Should we go back to that sort of stuff? A lot of it's the tactical stuff. I watched, I still do now, watched a lot of footage on players that we play against and understanding where they play, where they're strong, where they're weak, how do we get them out, and set plans to try and get them out that way. And again, it's going to be so different for all the bowlers. Bolt, Southey, Wagner, they're going to have all different type plans. Worked a lot with Neel Khagram about what his strengths are. And look, he's capable of bowling line and length and swinging the ball in on occasions. But what he does with the bouncer is better than anyone in the world. No one in the world can do it as good as him or for as long as him. So, it's a credit to him. That is just a special talent. Not only is it a talent, he's worked his backside off and been able to nail it as well as he does. And he's not 145 Ks. He's only 135. And to nail that as good as he does is a phenomenal effort.
And you've also had coaching stints in the county game as well, Essex, Middlesex T20 side as well. Again, a great experience for yourself working in the UK.
Yeah, huge. I mean, my Essex stint was awesome. They just won the championship and I came in and I think we finished third, which was it was a great season. Learned a lot from Anthony McGrath there, the head coach. Great coach. Played a lot against him in his Yorkshire days. We had a really good time there. And then the next year they went on and won it again. So, look, they're a star team. It was great to work with their bowlers, Jamie Porter, Cookie, and Simon Harmer especially. Look, an absolute star. Won them, a couple of championships. That's no mean feat as an off spinner. And then, now at Middlesex, done one stint at Middlesex. Obviously last year was well, I didn't go just because of the whole COVID thing, but hoping to come back over this year for Middlesex and then the 100 as well.
Yeah, so I was going to ask for the future ahead. Is it just more stints working with county teams, franchises around the world, broadening your coaching experience globally? Is that the plan going forward?
Yeah, it's always good to do those. I really enjoy them. Get to meet a lot of different people and work with some head coaches who have different philosophies, and you just learn heaps. So I'm still learning, although I've had a really good stint as an international coach. You never stop learning in coaching. So desperate to do as many as I can, and hopefully one day get a full-time gig down here in Oz, so I don't have to do too much traveling, which would be good. But in the meantime, I'm more than happy to do these short stints, and had another short stint this year with the Sydney Sixers as their bowling coach, which was awesome fun as well, and got to work with some seriously talented people there as well, and they went on to win it. So I'm still waiting for my bonus, actually. But
Perfect, Dimitri. Thank you very much for your time today. Great insight into your career, and all the best in the coaching world moving forward.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks very much for having me, and I appreciate it.
So Neel Khagram, Cricket Last Stories, Dimitri Mascarenhas. Thank you.